Hello, who am I and what is this? That is the subject of this video. I am DG Wiggins and this is my first video on, is this BookTube, AuthorTube? I don't know. But it's not my first video on YouTube. I've had another channel for a couple of years now, and I've always been kind of interested in doing something different, doing something where I can just sort of be myself and vlog a bit. My other channel was How-Tos for World of Warcraft, gaming, and things like that. Learned a lot in that, but my passions kind of changed. I am an aspiring author, and I just felt like having a YouTube channel where I can just post my lessons learned, even if nobody's really watching this, is going to help me sort of solidify those things in my brain so that when I'm sitting down to write, then hopefully they stick a little bit better. So hopefully you find this interesting. I know that it's going to be of great benefit to me. So my past in writing kind of started a couple years ago. I actually used to really suck terribly at writing. I was well known for being a bad writer. One day I went into, I'm a software developer, and I went into my year-end review with HR for the company that I was working for at the time. And they basically sat me down and said, okay, look, we love everything that you do. You're producing great quality code and helping us solve really hard problems. But when it comes to documentation, that's where we're docking you. That's the thing you need to work on. I don't remember the exact words, but it was more or less the idea of we would rather hire an intern to write documentation for you than to have you waste your time writing documentation. And that kind of hurt. And so I kind of started looking into ways to get better at writing and to make it fun for myself. And that was important, because if I'm gonna invest all this time writing, it's got to be fun. So I just started tinkering and dabbling with fiction and fantasy and sci-fi, and that's what I like to read. When I get done with the end of the day and I sit down with a book or an audiobook, it's generally for escapism. I've spent my entire day solving real world problems. I want magic systems, I want monsters, I want, talking dogs, whatever. I don't care, as long as it kind of gets me out of my head. And so I started kind of dabbling with that for about a year. I wrote and wrote and wrote, and it was just sort of wandering stuff. I had no clue what I was doing. But then I eventually discovered NanoWriMo, and that's kind of how I discovered BookTube and AuthorTube and whatnot. I started seeing these things popping up in YouTube because I was spending so much time on NanoWriMo and searching out, how do I write a book, how do I plot, how do I do setting and characters and all that great stuff. I started finding all these sort of NanoWriMo vlogs. So now this year will be my fourth NanoWriMo, fourth I think. And I have won NanoWriMo all of my previous attempts right from the beginning. I kind of got the motivation to sit down and write and just push out words. I got that down, but I've had lessons learned every year, and I continue to write throughout the year. I've gotten so much better at writing, to the point where people are impressed with my writing, and my company has me writing professional blogs for them and all kinds of little tidbits and things like that. It's also helped me script videos for my other YouTube channel. It's helped me do so many great and creative things. I want to continue doing it, but what I found is that I will spend a bunch of time reading a book or learning something or taking a class, and if I don't do something like this, where I basically put into my own words what I've learned, then it doesn't quite stick. So that's kind of what I want to go for with vlogs like this. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the videos that I put out here. If you don't, well, I'm still going to do them because they're still going to be beneficial for me, at least intellectually. I don't know if I'm going to be more BookTube or more AuthorTube. I am going to, I do think it's a good idea to kind of do, not necessarily book reviews, but when I get done reading a book, do a little video, talk about what the author did well, and things that I want to pull into my own writing, things that I can learn from what I've just read, or just lessons learned from following examples. So there might be some of those. I want to try and do maybe not daily vlogs, but once NanoWriMo gets started, do some vlogs and talk about what I'm writing. I am very open about what I'm writing. I'm not the sort of person that sort of guards their ideas and doesn't let anyone know what's going on in case the idea gets stolen. No, I know how stinking hard it is to push out 50,000 words coherently. So if somebody steals my idea and makes $1 million of it, well, that might hurt a little bit, but you know, good on them, because that's a heck of a lot of work. And in my case, you know, I want to write the book that I want to read, and and if they write it well and it gets published and I find it and I get to read it and enjoy it, then that's going to be good too. So I will let you know what I'm writing, what the plot and the characters, and what kind of where I'm going with it. And if you have any suggestions, or if you hear something that I'm writing that you think is really good, or you know, you want to suggest resources to me, let me know in the comments below, and I'll certainly be interested in that. My goals with this channel, like I said already, are for documenting lessons learned, to continue to make videos. Another reason why I'm starting this channel is that my previous channel is kind of tied to a particular video game, and every video game kind of has its ups and downs, and it's hard to be a content creator consistently when you're like that. Whereas books, I go through probably a book a week at least, just casually, and I really do enjoy that, plus writing, plus NanoWriMo, plus, you know, other goals and endeavors. So I kind of have some hopes for this channel in terms of just longevity. Whether it gets big, whether it grows, I'm not particular on that, but I would like to kind of meet some fun people and get some good input on my writing and the things that I'm doing. So if that appeals to you, feel free, please stick around, like, subscribe, leave me comments, say hi, and I'll see you in the next video.